driving Sonny out, you could be inviting somebody much worse.
Are you willing to put your money where your mouth is?
The simplest way to drive them apart is to tell her.
Willow is going to Germany to see Mike.
There is still one person I need to face.
General Hospital latest update. Scheming heats up as Nina sets a seductive trap to expose Drew, while Lois spins a long-buried lie about a non-existent adoption agency. Meanwhile, Willow defies Drew and heads to Germany to confront Michael herself, and Laura warns Tracy that taking down Sonny could unleash a worse evil. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. After watching these videos, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital. Nina sets escort trap for Drew, Lois adoption agency lie. General Hospital reveals that Nina Reeves decided to set an escort trap for Drew Kane while Lois Cerullo told an adoption agency lie. At Lulu Spencer's new house, Laura Collins stopped by and realized Dante Falconeri was there helping her get settled in. After Laura left, Dante and Lulu did some bonding outside before she got a call from the Landview banner. Lulu had submitted some story pitches to them, so she informed Dante that they wanted her to write the one on adoption. At the Quartermaine mansion on Wednesday's General Hospital episode, Brooklyn Quartermaine and Harrison Chase gave Lois updates on their adoption plans. Lois was rattled when she learned Chase and Brooke Lynn wanted to use the same agency that helped Brooke Lynn put her baby up for adoption. At one point, Ned Quartermaine popped up with questions, so Brooke Lynn and Chase filled him in on their desire to adopt and start their family together. Lois sought Gloria Cerullo's advice over the phone since they didn't actually use an adoption agency when they handed off Giovanni, Gio, Palmieri. That's why Lois eventually told Chase and Brooke Lynn that the adoption agency she used shut down 15 years ago. At the Metro Court, Tracy Quartermaine wrote Ezra Boyle a check since she supported his side in the referendum and Sonny Corinthos takedown. Once Laura Collins arrived and realized Tracy was making Ezra an ally, she warned that getting rid of Sonny wouldn't eliminate organized crime. In fact, Laura suggested that someone far worse could rise up and ultimately mention Jen Sidwell's name. Nearby, Nina and Portia Robinson talked about Drew being a master manipulator, so they needed to turn the tables and lure him into a trap. A gorgeous blonde joined Ezra at the bar, so Nina recognized the woman and approached her soon after. Nina met Jacinda and acted like she must be a model, so she handed over her crimson card to discuss opportunities. Once Nina rejoined Portia, she admitted the woman was actually an escort who'd been caught on hotel security and removed multiple times. Nina hinted about having a job for Jacinda, so it sounds like this escort will play a role in the upcoming trap for Drew. At Drew's house, he assured Willow Corinthos that everything was in place for him to be Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos' legal guardian if the kids couldn't be with Michael and something happened to Willow. Willow tried to pump the brakes a bit and felt the next step was going to see Michael at his clinic in Germany. This would give Willow a chance to see Michael's current condition for herself and not just rely on Carly Spencer's word on his recovery news. Plus, Willow wanted to hear Michael's side of the story regarding the divorce and custody situation. Drew made a prediction that Willow wouldn't like what Michael had to say and wondered where all this was coming from. Willow admitted that Jason Morgan urged her to go see Michael, so Drew eventually conceded that maybe it was a good idea. Although Drew wanted to accompany Willow on her trip, she felt she had to fly solo on this. Drew assured Willow of his support, but his expression certainly didn't seem supportive over her shoulder as they embraced. Even so, Drew kept up the charade and ultimately let passion erupt in bed with Willow. At Carly's place, she told Jason about her plans for the custody hearing and flipped out when he confessed that Willow was going to see Michael in Germany. Carly argued that Tramp would just cry and manipulate Michael, who was still in love with Willow and wouldn't be able to see the change in her. Jason had more faith in Michael and suggested he might be the only person who could help Willow see the bad choices she was making. Nevertheless, Carly stood by her decision to have Diane Miller push for the custody hearing date and refused to let Willow keep Michael from his children. General Hospital spoilers say there's much more drama to come as Willow prepares for a clinic visit, so stay tuned. Today's next update: Nina makes a connection she hopes to use against Drew, and Laura warns Tracy she's making a big mistake. Today on General Hospital, Carly is displeased to hear Willow is going to visit Michael, Lulu gets a new house and a new job, and Brooke, Lynn and Chase tell Lois and Ned of their decision to adopt. Laura drops by Lulu's new place and tells her how proud she is of her and that this is going to be a wonderful home. Laura can't stay but offers to come back later to help her unpack. Lulu says she's good, and Dante appears. Dante says hello to Laura and then heads off to find the fuse panel to flip some switches. Laura can see that Lulu doesn't need her help. Lulu admits she enjoys Dante's company, but will always need her mom. Laura is happy she's found a wonderful home, but her home is also Lulu's home, always. They embrace, and Laura heads out. Dante returns and announces the electrical outlets are working, so it looks like she's back on her feet. Lulu says not quite, but soon. She still needs a job and has put some feelers out with a local paper to write for them from home. Dante thinks that will let her spend more time with the kids, and Rocco could use time with his mom. Later, they sit on the porch, and Dante brings out lemonade in the glasses they got when they took Rocco to Disney. Lulu can't believe they are still around. Dante explains that when she got sick, he packed up everything he thought she considered important. Lulu receives a call back from the paper, and they have accepted one of the 3-story pitches she submitted. Dante asks which one, and Lulu reveals it's one on adoption. Lois lies to Brooke, Lynn and Chase. At the Quartermain mansion, Brooke, Lynn and Chase tell Lois that they have decided to adopt and could use Lois' help. Brooke, Lynn wants to use the same adoption agency that placed her baby. Ned walks in and asks what he hears about a child. Ned learns that Brooke, Lynn and Chase are considering adopting, and he is thrilled. Adopting Leo was one of the best days of his life, and he and Lois will do what they can to help. Lois suddenly gets a call from a friend she's trying to lock down for the nurses' ball, and she rushes off. Lois, in actuality, talks to her mom and tells her Brooke Lynn wants to know what agency they used to place her baby, when they both know there was no agency involved. Lois returns to the group, and Ned leaves to finalize the legal papers regarding the deal between Monica and the Port Charles Land Trust. Once he's gone, Brooke asks her mom for the name of the agency. Lois says the adoption was through St. Ignatius, but they closed their adoption offices 15 years ago. Ezra sucks up to Tracy. At the Metro Court, Ezra runs into Tracy and hopes they can put the crypt dispute behind them. He says if she needs a friend at City Hall. She orders him to sit down and says, despite his connection to Drew, she does like his idea to put Sunny out of business. He brings up the Esplanade, but she doesn't want to hear that word ever again. She knows his referendum is really about getting rid of Sunny, and she wants to shut him down and get him out of the lives of people she cares about. Ezra asks if Tracy's ready to put her money where her mouth is. Tracy writes him a check. Ezra warns her that if she aligns herself with his side, she will be going up against Sunny's friends. Laura walks in, and Ezra notes that their mayor is included in that list. Laura approaches Ezra and Tracy, and Ezra lets her know the early polling shows Sunny's days on the pier are numbered. He suggests she jump on board their position against him. Laura says she doesn't make decisions on what's best for Port Charles based on polls. Tracy tells Ezra that she has his money, so go. Laura sits down with Tracy and can't believe she gave Ezra money, and warns her she can't trust him. Tracy doesn't, but thinks Laura needs to listen to him. Laura says Ezra is a panderer and asks if Tracy is so desperate to get rid of Sunny that she'd work with that guy. Tracy argues that Sunny has been a blight on her family and Port Charles for decades. Tracy says she wanted to warn Laura before she makes her position vocally known regarding Sunny and the vote. Tracy says ridding Port Charles of the mafia is what is best for the town. Laura warns chasing Sunny out won't get rid of the mob, and she believes driving Sunny out will invite someone much worse, like Jen Sidwell, to move in and take over. Tracy knows Sunny is the devil they know, but she's willing to take the chance on a new devil. Laura says Ezra wants her resignation, and asks if Tracy does too. Tracy assures her she doesn't, but Laura should distance herself from Sunny while she can. Nina and Portia find a way to get to Drew. Nina and Portia meet to plot against Drew. Portia calls Drew a master manipulator. Nina complains that Willow sees him as a hero, and she has no idea who he is and what he's done. Portia says if Nina knows something that can drive them apart, she should tell Willow. Nina explains she doesn't have proof and can't risk Willow not believing her. Portia understands and brings up Drew's decision to present this risky surgery to Kai. She says Drew lures people into these situations with promises, and then, when things go wrong, he accuses the people of doing it to themselves. Nina thinks they need to set a trap of their own for Drew. Ezra sits at the bar, and a woman joins him, smiles, and jokes with him. Nina and Portia take note, and Portia wonders why that woman is with that troll. Nina recognizes the blonde. Nina walks over to Ezra and the woman, introduces herself, and the woman introduces herself as Jacinda. Nina assumes she's a model, explains she could have worked for her in the pages of Crimson, and gives Jacinda her card. Nina returns to Portia, who can't believe she's scouting for models at a time like this. Nina tells her, that woman is no model. Ezra leaves with Jacinda, and Nina explains that the woman is a prostitute, whom she had to have removed from the hotel several times when she was the co-owner of the hotel. Nina suggests they may have a job for Jacinda. Carly argues with Jason. Jason stops by Carly's, and she says she's found a way to get Willow away from Michael's kids for good. She has Diane ready to go to court, including securing a date, the minute Michael returns to town. Jason believes this is a bad idea, and they don't know what Michael wants. Jason says the only people who can fix this are Willow and Michael, which is why Willow is going to Germany to see Michael. Carly learns Jason pushed Willow to talk to Michael, and calls it a terrible decision. She explains that Michael is still in love with Willow, so that Tramp will whine and cry to get what she wants from Michael. Jason believes Michael would see through that, and he might be the only one who can make her see she's making terrible choices. Carly says she won't call off Diane, and there's nothing Willow can do to stop her from making sure Michael gets his kids. Willow stuns Drew. At Drew's, he tells Willow he's finalized the legal details to make sure the kids never end up with Carly should something happen to her or Michael. Willow asks if he can put his lawyers on hold, as she doesn't want to push Michael anymore, given the state he's in. Drew notes they really don't know how Michael is doing, if he's getting better or not. All they have is what Carly says. Willow tells Drew that before this goes any further legally, she needs to face her husband. Drew is stunned and calls this a bold move. Willow says if Carly is lying about his condition, then she needs to know so they can figure out how to move forward. Drew doesn't know if Michael will want to talk to her, but Willow says all she has is Carly's take on why Michael served her divorce and custody papers, so she needs to hear Michael's side. Drew says she's never mentioned wanting to see Michael before, so what changed? Willow admits she talked to Jason. Drew insists Jason cannot be trusted and is only looking out for Michael, but Willow believes he is right about this. Drew admits Jason might have a point, and this could bring peace. Drew suggests he go with her, and they make a trip out of it, but she wants to do this on her own. If Michael found out he came with her, he'd take it the wrong way, and he wouldn't be wrong. Drew tells her that he supports her 100%, but clearly his face shows concern. Drew tells her how proud he is of her and that he'll miss her. They kiss, and things turn passionate as they head to the bedroom and make love. On the next General Hospital, Cody waits to be seen at the hospital. Brooke Lynn asks him why she'd be annoyed with him. Rick asks Molly, if Ava's in my life, then you're not going to be. Alexis and Diane sit down to go over some rules with Marco. Lulu talks to Lucas about his biological father. Dante tells Christina their dad needs his family, especially now. Jason promises to be there for Danny. Brick is glad Sonny has Carly in his corner. Thanks for watching, General Hospital fans. If you're loving the drama in Port Charles, smash that like button, drop your theories in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. More explosive updates are coming soon.